Don't you know that I'm still standing better than I ever did? Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. Know that I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi guys, Ryan Miner here. Today I'm going to be teaching you I'm Still Standing by Elton John. We're going to learn the chords for the verse, we're going to learn the chords for the chorus, and then we're going to go through and learn the solo. So, grab your guitars and stay tuned. Hi guys, first things first, if you're just looking to learn the solo, go to this time code right here. That'll put you right at the solo. For everybody else, we are in standard tuning, and we have a capo on the first fret. Now what that means is when I'm calling out an A minor, we're actually playing a B flat minor. But because the capo is shifted up one fret. So I'm calling everything out relative to the capo. So we have 3 chords and partially 2 chords in the intro. We are going to be playing an A minor, which is right here. We're going to be playing a D minor, and we're going to be playing an E major. Now for that D minor, you can play a D minor 7th if you'd like, which is taking the D on the B string and lowering it down to a C on the B string, if you want to. And an E major, you can turn it into an E major 7th by dropping the E on the D string to a D, and you can put the 3rd fret of the B string, you can add that to the chord as well. Makes it sound a little more mysterious if you want to. So these are the chords in the intro. Now before the E goes back to the A minor, we're going to play 2 fragments of chords. They're actually, full chords, but they're not the full standard chords that you would play. You're going to play the top 3 strings of an F chord. So you have your 2nd fret of your G string, your 1st fret of your B string, and the 1st fret of your E string. So that's a fragment of F. And then you're going to be playing the same thing 2 frets up, which makes it a fragment of G. So this is how it sounds in the scheme of the song. So that is in between those 2 chords. So all together it sounds like this. And for the intro, it's going to play that a few times, and then it's going to go into the verse. So that's the intro. Alright, now it's time to learn the verse. So the intro was an A minor, but the verse is actually an A major. So we're going to start out on an A major. We're going to play 3 different types of A major. We're going to do different suspensions to give it a different sound. And this is the first section of the main part of the verse. We're going to have an A major, and then we're going to suspend it, which means we're going to take the 2nd fret on the B string and put it up to the 3rd fret on the B string. So normally it would be a C sharp to a D. And we can just do that with our ring finger like that. And we're going to play an A with a suspended 2nd, which means you take the note off of the B string altogether. So you play that open. So. Wide open. So after you play those 3 chords, you're going to go back to a regular A major. So all of that together sounds like this. Okay, now we're going to go to a regular D chord, a regular E chord, and then we're going to go to an F sharp minor chord. Now you got to bar that one, so it's a little bit trickier. And then it goes up to a D chord. And each of those gets the same amount of time, and then it drops back down to an A chord for a few bars, and then goes to the beginning of that little pattern. So all together it sounds like this. D, E, F sharp minor, D, And that's the whole verse. So don't worry about doing necessarily the same exact pattern that I was doing. I'm doing it a little bit more rhythmically. You can do that if you're playing by yourself, or if you're playing with a drummer, just make sure you're on time. You could do it even simpler, if you're playing by yourself or you're just learning and you're learning how to switch all of your chords and everything. You can just do quarter notes. Just make sure you're on time and you've got those chords and those chord transitions down, and that's the whole verse. Now we're going to learn the chorus. So the chorus goes back to A minor, and it's similar to the intro. So our chorus, we have an A minor, and then it goes to a G, and it goes to a D minor, the same one we played before. And now the first time, it's going to go F to G. Now I know I'm playing my F a different way than you might normally see. I'm actually hitting that F on the low E string with my thumb instead of barring it, because I'm lazy. So altogether, that first section of the chorus goes like this. Okay? And now we're going to play the second part of that same chorus. Same chords. Instead of going F to G, though, we are going to just play an E major. Sorry. So the second part of the chorus goes. And just like in the intro, when we were playing those shortened F and G chords up on the top three strings, we're going to play those again here, in between the E major chord and the A minor chord. So that's going to sound like this. You're just going to take that shape, which is the top three notes of the F, shift it up 2 frets to the G. So the entire chorus, before it goes into the part that just says, I'm still standing, yeah, 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 it's going to go like this. Now here's the second part of the chorus, when he just says, I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. So that goes like this. That is just A minor, D minor, and then the E major. And that's the same chord progression as we were doing in the intro, along with those two smaller chords. And he's just going to play that twice before we go into the second verse. So here's the second part of that chorus. The second time you don't play those two little chords up at the top. You just play the E major out, and then we're going to transition into the second verse. And the second verse is the same as the first verse, except you are only playing it through once, so it is half as long as the first chorus. Still an A major, still the same chords and everything. But that's all you got to do. So after that verse, you're going to go and play another chorus, the same way we just learned it here, and then it's time for the solo. So stay tuned for the solo. Alright guys, time to learn the solo. Now I switched over to the electric guitar for this, but I still have the capo on the first fret. So if you're playing on the acoustic, you can just go right into the solo. But just so you know, these tabs below don't take into account what fret you're on if you have a capo. So if it says 1, that means the first fret, but if the capo's there, it's really open because it's already being pressed down. So the chord progression that happens under the solo is the same one that is under the verse, so you don't have to learn anything there. And the solo actually starts at the end of the second chorus, so I'm going to play that and then play the solo for you so you know how it sounds. So we're going to start out with the first fret and the third fret, going back and forth between those on the A and the D string, as you can see on the tab. That's the only thing that happens in the chorus chord progression. Then it transitions into the verse chord progression, and we start the real part of the solo. So this occurs in the verse, or the chorus. So after you play that, you're just going back and forth between those two notes. You're going to play the third fret on the D string, hammered onto the fifth fret on the D string. Third fret on the G string, and go back and forth between the fifth fret on the D string and the third fret on the G string. So after you've done that, you're going to bend the fifth fret on the G string up to the seventh. You're going to release that and pull off to the third fret of the G string. Go down to the fifth fret on the D string, and then play the third fret on the G string. Then you're going to hammer on from the third fret on the D string, to the fifth fret on the D string. Play the third fret on the G string, fifth fret on the D string, and then do that same bend we did before. Fifth bent up to seventh. You're going to release it and then pull off onto the third fret. And that's that first little segment of the solo. So here it is again. Okay, we're going to go into the second segment of the solo. It is the third fret on the G string and the third fret on the E string. So I'm taking my middle finger and my ring finger, and I'm doing a little hybrid with my right hand. So I'm picking with the pick on the G string, and then I'm going to use my middle finger on the high E string. So I'm going to slide into the notes. It's 3 on the G string and 3 on the E string. Play each of those twice. Slide up into the fifth. So fifth fret on the G string and fifth fret on the E string. Slide up into seventh fret on the G string and sixth fret on the E string. Slide up into the eighth fret on the G string and eighth fret on the E string. Okay, so that's the second little fragment of the solo. So after you've played that, you're going to move up and you're going to take the 13th fret on the B string, slide it up to the 15th fret, then you're going to slide down from the 15th fret to the 13th fret, and then you're going to play the 11th fret, all on the B string. Then you're going to bend that 13th fret, play the 13th fret on the E string, and then release that bend on the B string, and play the 11th fret on the B string. So altogether that little third segment is... Okay, so those are the only pieces to the solo, just 3 little segments. Should be easy to break it up and learn it like that. So here it is again. And that's the whole solo. So from there, you're going to play the chorus. It's just going to go over those same chords over and over and over again until it ends. And then it just plays that same chord progression as the intro until the song's over. So I hope you guys like the video. If you do like it, make sure you like it below and subscribe to my YouTube page. You can find me on Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram, ReverbNation.com/RyanMinorGuitar. You can download all of my music there for free. If you do want to see other lessons or you want something specific, feel free to message me or comment below. And rock on, guys. Thanks.